Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. And somebody wanted me to give my take on the movie Get Out, what I think about it, and if I've seen it. Yeah, I checked it out about 2 weeks ago, and it's a pretty good movie. And there's a lot of game, a lot of messages within that movie. There's a lot of them. But I'm gonna give you a couple of them real quick. Now, basically the whole movie, Get Out, was about black exploitation. Basically, it's about how black people, mainly black males, get taken advantage of in Western society, America, UK, Australia, basically. But it happens in America. It's one of those taboo subjects. It's something that you don't hear people talk about in the mainstream society. You don't even hear your friends talk about it. No one talks about it. Some things are taboo in society, and that's basically what the movie was about. So in the movie, you have, hopefully you've seen it by now. Hopefully most people have seen it. If not, I'll give spoilers. Hey, whatever. But basically, in the movie, you had two white supremacist parents. I think the mom was a psychologist, and she hypnotized everybody that comes to the house. She basically manipulate them and to hypnotize them because she wants to help people, but in reality, she really wants to help her and the family. And the dad, I think he's like an attorney, if I remember correctly. And what happened is the daughter they sent the daughter to the city, because that's how the movie started off. It started off with the daughter in the city, and she was dating this black guy. And, the dude was kind of the goofy dude that really had no game. And that's the first mistake. This dude had no game. He's one of those type of guys that just go along to get along with everything. So whatever the white woman says, he does, And they went on I think the holidays was coming up, if I'm not mistaken, in the movie. Or maybe it was just a weekend thing. And she was taking him back home to visit her parents, to meet her parents for the first time. And he was nervous. And she was like, oh, it's no big deal. I haven't told him that you're a black guy. And he was worried about that. He was saying, basically, you should tell your parents who I am, because I don't want to pop up there and they don't know I'm black or whatever. And she was, they were going back and forth. She's like, hey, I got this or whatever, And on the way going to the house, they hit a deer, and they pulled over and got out, and they didn't actually know they hit a deer while they were driving. But when they got out the car and they figured out that it was a deer, then his girlfriend called the cops. The cop came and gave them a police report for the damages and everything, right? And the cop asked the guy for his license, which happens, a lot, right? And his girlfriend was like, oh, he wasn't driving, I was driving. You know what I'm saying? So in his mind, he thought that, hey, my girl, she stuck up for me or whatever. But in reality, the reason why she didn't want the cop to run his license, because she didn't want the cop to leave a paper trail on him because the whole thing was a setup from the get go. That's why she was taking him back to her parents' house because she was kind of like the recruiter, quote recruiter in the family, because the parents sent her out to get guys and girls to bring them back to the house so they can basically kidnap and kill or get body parts or hypnotize these girls and guys that have sexual relationships with them. That's what the whole movie was all about. It didn't work out with this guy because he fought back, and his buddy came all the way from the city to rescue his ass. So him and his buddy basically ended up killing all the motherfuckers for the most part, and they got away. That's basically what the movie's about. Black exploitation. They took, and what the funny thing is like the guy, which was the white girl's boyfriend at the time, he looked in like a closet and found a bunch of fucking pictures of guys, hundreds of guys, that she brought to the house because she took pictures of everybody, including women, and including one guy that he knew, that his friend knew personally, because he called him on the telephone. And once he found that shit out, and that guy that his friend knew, ended up coming over at the house because they had like a get together, a party, right? And that guy basically told him to get out, and his nose started to bleed all at the same time. And that's when he knew that something wasn't right. And that's when they tried to, actually they tied him down and had him in the basement. But he managed to get away, and, he had to fight and kill everybody, including the girl, because his girlfriend ended up, once he found out his girlfriend set him up with the family to kidnap and kill him or do whatever they want to do with him, he had to basically fight for his life. I mean, his girlfriend pulled out a shotgun on his ass and all kind of shit. And even the black people that they had there, they had body parts. Basically, the black people that were there, working there as caregivers or whatever the fuck they were doing, maintenance or whatever, their either grandparents or grandmother brains or body parts were in the black people. So the movie was deep, man. It's a good movie though. But there's a lot of game and a lot of hidden messages in that movie. And one of the biggest messages in the movie is, if you're a black male trying to do anything in American society, it's going to be very difficult, because there's always somebody around to talk you out of it, make you change your mind. It ain't going to work. My father done that. My uncle done that. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I mean, could you imagine how somebody like Kanye West feels? I mean, you got people around you telling you not to do certain things. They don't support you. So just being black sometimes in this society is tough. So imagine being a type of guy that go against the grain, that go against everything that society says it's cool. Because if you're a black male, you're never going to have enough support in this society. You just, and then in the movie, um, and something else that you have to think about. This is why you have to be very careful who you rock with, as far as women and who you have around you, because in the movie they basically use the woman to get to this guy, and he trusted her. You know what I mean? So a lot of times the daughter was like the fact. It basically sacrificed the daughter to get people to the house. You know? So today, you don't really have, if you really want to get close to somebody, you don't necessarily have to do it yourself. You can get a woman. And I see that today. Because the average woman today, I mean, a lot of these guys today, they don't really know what they have at the house. You know what I mean? So anything that most of these guys try to do outside of the box, most of these women are going to say no. 99%. Because they're not really rocking with these guys like that. They don't really have their best interests. They're really thinking about themselves. So that's what the movie was about in a nutshell. Now I can go on, but that's really the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a good movie. It's a movie that you should watch again. Watch it at least 5 times. I can almost guarantee you that you'll see something different every time you watch it. So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel. Check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Until next time, Sharp Game is out. Peace.